Hi everyone, how's it going? It's Brian Gomez, founder of the Inner Black Sheep. Today is March 18th of 2021, and it's been about 5 or maybe even 6 weeks since my last recording. And honestly, I'm doing my best to practice what I preach. It's all about prioritization and not necessarily about balance. And that's really, if you listen to my last video, I mentioned balance is bullshit, and all kidding aside, it's impossible. It's not something that we're not machines. We can't equally distribute and balance anything in real life. And what I did in the last month or so is prioritize my life. Work got busy, so there were nights where I had to focus on work. My son or daughter would wake up early in the morning, or let's say late at night, depending on how you want to look at it, and I have to take care of them, and also I have to take care of myself, because I need to sleep. I can't be having these videos and eyes all bloodshot red, and the messaging wouldn't be the same. And in reality, what I want everybody to realize is, life is your timeline. Just because you listen to or you read books and it says, oh, you got to get stuff out every day or multiple times a day or every week, every month, you don't. The reality is, it's your life, it's your decision, it's your choices. So be good with that, and be comfortable that you're making the right decisions at the right moment in your time. It's your timeline. There will be people who you feel are more successful than you, have gotten further along than you, but everybody's at a different point in their journey, and this is my journey. So the first part here is documentation, because it has been about a month or so since I recorded, and now today, the rest of the recording is really about part three of series two of balance, and I titled it "Leaving Balance Behind." So let's begin. So have you ever wondered, why some people aren't successful? They don't accomplish a lot, or they don't fulfill their goals or their dreams, or they're not really good at relationships. They don't perform well at their jobs. They're not the best parents, not the best spouses, and part of that is the trap we fall into, and it's balancing. When you focus so much on balance, like I said earlier, we're not machines. We can't equally distribute anything, and because of that, we falter and we fail. We really need to begin to prioritize our lives and kind of reprogram ourselves. We can't keep going around trying to juggle everything all at once, holding our breaths, hoping that things won't fall and then they won't go through the cracks, and we miss out on things. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not easy. Myself living through it, to focus on prioritization versus balance is what we're programmed to do. It's not easy, but what I do know is it's just like baby steps. As a baby learns to walk, I love the idea that they can fall 1,000 times, and the parents will have patience. They will be encouraging, they'll be supportive, they'll guide the baby. And the reason is because we know that the human being walks. It's part of the development stage. So what happens when we become adults? What happens to the patience, the encouragement, the support, the guidance? It seems to go away, and people forget that learning how to walk is no different than learning a new skill, learning a new task, learning a new habit, having a new job. It's step by step that you get better. In time, you get better, and practice makes perfect. It's like building a wall. You got to do one brick at a time, and that's how you build a wall. You can't build a wall all in one setting. The wall of China wasn't built in one day. So, the problem is, the majority of our lives, we've lived a life of balance. From kids, it was easy. You had work, like, not work. You had school. You had, respectful to be, your family. You had friends. You had three things. It's easy. But as you become adult, you start getting more responsibilities. You start having a job. You start, being in a relationship, creating a family. And all of a sudden, balance becomes very difficult, because if I'm going to try to balance my life, I need to say that this time is allocated for X, and then I'm going to allocate that for Y and for Z and so forth, and it almost becomes impossible. I'm guilty of thinking certain things like, oh, there's not enough time in the day. I'll blame it on that, or it's so hard to balance everything. I'll blame it on that. And then, I'm new to a role, I'm inexperienced. The reality is, it's A, we're not taking accountability for ourselves, for our actions, for our responsibilities. And then B, we just need to really start prioritizing ourselves. They talk about when you repeat an action over and over again and expect a different outcome, that's the definition of insanity. What we need to do is we need to stop this insanity circle we're living in of balance and really leave that behind, and we need to really start looking at how do we prioritize our life. And the good thing is, listening to this video, you're going towards step one, and that's understanding, that's apprehension that I talked about, in my first series of the inner black sheep. And again, I'm gonna bring it back to myself. I thought I was good at it. I got the corporate job. I'm a provider. I'm a loving spouse. I'm a loving parent. I figured, I have side hustles. I'm doing good. And then, reality kicked in, and, I'm fortunate that my better half, or, my spouse, had the ability and the strength to tell me that you're not doing well. Things are, not going as balanced as you think they are. And I'm going to be honest with you, feedback is tough. When you first get it, I kind of, got to step back a bit and be like, well, what are you talking about? Like, the way I operate and the way I do things, I'm good. But when you humble yourself and you take the time to really, listen to the feedback, shake your head and don't retaliate and really try to understand it gives you an opportunity where you get to unveil your blind spots. And you get to understand, the situation that you're in and things that you're going through. Because what I've learned is when people give you feedback, it's because they actually care. Because if you didn't care about the individual, you wouldn't say anything at all. You'd let them just fail and falter and go from there. But, as hard as it is to get feedback, it's actually a window into the inner black sheep, your authentic self. Because in those raw moments of hearing feedback, you can't hold back. Your authentic self will come out, and it's up to you as an adult to take accountability for it and, calm yourself, and just take it as you receive it. And then with that, you can, grow and go beyond that, and what I want you guys to do, now is when you get feedback, accept it. But not only that, why don't you write down everything you're trying to balance and then write down how's it working out for you. As myself, I thought that, I was doing well, and I wasn't. I was a mess, and things almost came crashing down. And fortunately, my spouse was strong enough to tell me that, hey, things aren't looking good. And I was able to turn around and fix it and start realizing that, the epiphany that balance is bullshit, and life needs to be prioritized, because that's where you can grow and move on to the next part of your life. So what we need to do is, we need to move forward. We need to leave balance behind. But what I want you to know is you're not alone. Just as your parents was here to guide you and support you, have patience with you, and, be there for you. Well, that's why I'm here. That's why I founded and established the Inner Black Sheep. But it's not just me that's here. I'm sure that your true friends and family will be there for you too. So you know what? Starting tomorrow, let's begin to prioritize and let's move to the next stage of our lives. So with that, thank you everybody for watching, for listening, for, your comments, your feedback. I appreciate it. I'm hoping to reach as many people as I can. So thank you, and we'll talk next time.